So I was able to predict what Operation Asha's 4D model was. So they found that those with tuberculosis would not admit themselves into a hospital, and that the disease mostly affected those in the poorer areas of India, and I'm assuming that there's a correlation between money and not wanting to admit themselves to a hospital due to financial instabilities. Their dream was to lower the overall amount of tuberculosis deaths and cases in India. The design was to bring healthcare and education to the doorsteps of those people who tested positive for tuberculosis. And their destiny, they continued this by taking samples and sending them to labs for research on tuberculosis to hopefully better understand the disease. The situation that I was working through was procrastination, so putting schoolwork, personal duties, everything like that aside due to my feelings of stress and overwhelm. I spoke with my sister because she's a very organized person and used to struggle a lot with procrastination and has worked her way out of it, so I knew that she would be a great resource to use when trying to figure out how to fix my situation with procrastination. For planning, I use the 4D model, which is shown in the fourth slide, to think of new ways to approach this situation, and the measures of success, so completing important tasks, avoiding distractions, and finding a strategy that keeps me motivated. Execution. So when approaching this situation, I spoke with my sister, and I also asked myself some of those appreciative inquiry-based questions. So, for example, what makes me feel satisfied when I complete a task? What makes me feel motivated, and how can I incorporate that into my situation? And how can I turn the situation into an opportunity for growth? My success rate, so I was able to complete most of the tasks I had to do while keeping distractions at bay, though I did struggle to find a concrete strategy that makes me stay motivated throughout the entire process versus just for a small portion of time. I was actually surprised how much it helped to have somebody problem solve with me. I feel like a lot of the times I'm solving my own problems by myself, and I think it helped a lot to motivate me when there was another person to keep me accountable. So this was my 4D model. So for Discover, I realized that time management is definitely a struggle for me. Stress and overwhelm influence my decisions to get tasks done, and I have difficulty avoiding distractions when working. So my dream was to be productive even when I don't have that automatic motivation, and to finish projects in a timely manner, and to work through assignments without allowing distractions to interfere with my work. So some ideas that I tried out were isolating myself when completing tasks, putting away any electronics or anything that could potentially be a distraction, utilizing timers when completing work, and taking breaks after the completion of each task or assignment. And all of these strategies really help to keep me focused, which I think has been my biggest problem with procrastination. And then for the destiny, I want to continue revising and using different strategies to avoid procrastination, and potentially using small rewards to boost motivation, and reflecting on the process, what worked and what didn't work. So my appreciative inquiry insights, I noticed that it's useful for looking at a situation from a different, more positive perspective. Since this situation was personal versus a team-related issue, I was able to use AI to reflect on the positive outcomes of tweaking my struggles with procrastination. And the use of AI promoted motivation for me by really thinking about what positive or negative feelings come from, in this case, completing tasks and learning from past mistakes. I want to use AI in the future for both complex and simple situations. So, for example, when my roommates and I, when we struggle to keep the common areas clean, I think it would be great to utilize this to really question what positive feelings come from, even just having a clean house, and reflect on what different strengths we can all bring to the table. I think it can also be utilized in work situations. For example, I do a lot of work with my general manager, so planning, where in the restaurant we'll be located and where we're needed most, based on our strengths, is something that I think would be really helpful. And the outcome, so I hope to use the 4D model when it comes to making a change, to be a better person or situation. I think this can be used in all domains of my life, especially my personal and professional life.